Hello YouTube, and I'm back with a video. This time we're going to do rankings for Dice Throne Season 1 and 2 heroes in free-for-all King of the Hill games, where you have 3 or more players, and it's kind of just like a hodgepodge of arena fighting of everyone in the conglomerate. And typically at my household, what we do is we hold these tournaments where we'll have like a couple different pods of anywhere between 3 and 4 players, and then first place, whoever's last in the pod or wins that pod gets like 10 points, or then second gets like 8 points and third gets 6 points or something like this. And then we rotate people per pod, like everyone gets to play everybody in like a round robin sort of a situation. And then when we have at the end, if we have a tie, then we do like a showdown, a 1v1 kind of situation there. That's kind of what we do at my house. And the rule sets are also as follows. Like in the game itself, if anyone is attacking, they can attack the person with the highest health to receive an extra income phase, where they get to pick either do they want a card draw or do they want an extra CP. I think that might be in the official King of the Hill rules too. I don't remember. We just kind of always played it this way. And if it's tied, if there's 2 players that have equal health, then what we kind of fall back to is like most resources available to that player. So if there's a player with a bunch of upgrade cards, a bunch of a bunch of positive stats effect tokens, a bunch of cards in their hand, a bunch of CP, that's kind of like the tiebreaker for who's in the lead if their health is at the same. So, and that's kind of how we go at my household, how we play it. So with all of those rules in mind, I do suggest doing this. This is a super fun way to play Dice Throne. You get the craziest outcomes, the craziest like team ups, the craziest like. There's a bunch of, board politics or game politics talking to like, oh, he's got the Shadow Thief. I know he's only got 10 health, but the Shadow Thief can get shadows like 3 turns in a row and then just kill everybody at the very end, stuff like this happens. It's very Magic-esque if you guys have ever played Magic, and you have your 4-person pods that way, except for the pace is just faster than Magic. Magic takes about 2 hours to finish a full 4-person pod, where Dice Throne only takes probably 30 minutes to an hour. We do play 40 health instead of 50 health in these pods of 3 or 4, just to get the game's quicker. When we do 1v1s, if there's like a tiebreaker kind of a thing for the tournament winner, we do go back to 50 health per person there. So, all right. So now that all of that has been established, let's actually get into the rankings. So, in a free-for-all King of the Hill matches, there's some things that are weighted differently and priority of what's actually valuable, and that would be your defensive role action or ability, and then also if you have the ability for economy and healing are very highly valued things. And then also collateral damage actually becomes a viable option now. So people like the Tactician, his absolutely horrible garbage attack, what's it called, Carpet Bomb, is actually somewhat useful here. While it still does low damage to everybody, at least it's dealing a decent amount of damage to everybody and it's equal. So Tactician might shock some of you where I place him. So we're just going to go through each order and I'll talk about each hero and why. So Barbarian, as you can see, he's the first one here. So he's, I think, at first glance, a lot of people are going to be thinking maybe he's like, like C tier-ish, somewhere around there, like towards the bottom. Well, upon second, more thorough inspection on free-for-all, you're not getting damaged every turn with Barbarian. And when you do get damaged, he does have a healing. His defense is bad. All it does is, heal. So it doesn't even mitigate damage, it doesn't prevent damage. So it just heals damage that's been taken. But the upgrade to his defense isn't horrible. It's actually decent if you can get into it. Well, you actually be healing a decent amount. And then he has his upgrade for his heal ability underneath his basic. I can't remember what that's called. I think Thick Skin's his defense ability, but I think it's like Fortitude is his offensive heal ability, which you can actually get a lot of turns where you're just actually able to out-heal the opponents attacking you, because not everyone's going to be attacking you in a free-for-all. So you might be able to get turns where you can just get a heal off and then not get attacked for a couple turns. And now you're when you were in 4th place, last at the table, you healed on your turn, and then everyone's attacking everyone else, and now all of a sudden you're second or first on at the table. So healing abilities kind of bump players up. So to be honest with you, Barbarian's probably high B tier, almost A tier. He's kind of like approaching the A tier, bottom of A tier, top of B. The only thing holding him back from being an A tier is the fact that he has no economy, and the fact that he doesn't have any like collateral damage. He can't attack everybody at once to kind of end the game immediately. He does have stun though, which can be very sneaky, where he can take out 2 opponents out of seemingly nowhere if he ults somebody, kills them, and then gets a stun off on them, obviously, and then he gets to go again. That's kind of how we play that. Even if that person's dead, the stun ability still goes through, where he gets a second offensive roll phase. So I'm going to put him at the top of B for those reasons. And let me know if you guys agree or disagree. I think he's very good in free-for-all. Now, Moon Elf. Moon Elf is kind of the opposite, but not really, of Barbarian. So her value is all in her defensive role and her defensive status effect tokens, to where Barbarian doesn't get really any defensive status effect tokens. He barely gets any tokens at all. She is just trying to play the long game, hunker down, punish you if you're deciding to attack her, and then she can apply the entangle on whoever she deems as a problem character for her. So she'll prioritize whoever she thinks is going to be rough against her. Usually the characters that have undefendable attacks that are easily accessible. Now, she has no economy, and a lot of her cards are relatively expensive, and she can't end games, like she can't close a game out really well. Due to this, I actually think she's probably below Barbarian in C tier. While her defense is kind of busted in this, and it holds people off from attacking her, these games go a little bit longer than 1v1s. 1v1s last like anywhere from like 45 minutes or less, where these last about an hour to, maybe an hour 15, something like that, anywhere between half an hour to like an hour and 20. And you can relatively dig deep into your deck and then find the cards that you're looking for, and she can upgrade that defense and stuff. But her biggest issue is the fact that she does such low damage, and then people don't like being targeted. They don't like having the targeted apply because it applies for everyone that attacks them. So they're going to either transfer it off of themselves and back onto the Moon Elf if she ends up applying it, or they will target Moon Elf out of sheer spite. So she kind of goes in the C tier from this reasoning. She can't close games. She's always usually in the top 2 to 3 in the table, but she never wins a game is kind of her issue. Monk. All right, now Monk is everything you want in a character for King of the Hill except for the lack of economy. He's got a decently strong defense. His chi tokens are extremely versatile that allow him to delete players or completely save himself from getting ambushed out of nowhere. He has evasive tokens. He has cleanse tokens. Literally everything you want, besides the fact that he cannot draw a bunch of cards, is sort of what you want out of this. He also doesn't have a heal, but he mitigates enough damage to where that kind of is a null factor. Due to these reasons, Monk is going to go into the A tier. Paladin. Paladin is absolutely S tier. There's really no getting around it. The only thing that holds him back even somewhat is the fact that he's kind of hard to roll for, sort of. But once you get used to him, he's completely broken in these kind of King of the Hill settings. He's actually ban worthy. Sometimes we'll ban him because he's just so good. His defense is absolutely punishing to where he can sometimes out heal the attacks that he's getting hit with. He has that heal ability with his hearts. He's got huge economy to where he's able to practically get his entire board upgraded, and then he also has protect to mitigate the damage that's coming through, as well as healing, with his defensive role. And he has the blessing, what is it called, Heaven's Blessing or something like that. He has the res, where if he ults, which he's going to try to get an ult because he will draw into his deck and get all the dice mods. He's going to get an ult, and then even if the game ends up somewhat getting closed out where everyone else dies from like a huge collateral explosion or something, which can happen with like Pyromancer and then Artificer. These kind of characters have these big collateral explosions. He will get rezzed and then just be back the next turn and then try to close it out that way, because usually the games are usually pretty tight. So he's S tier hands down. Pyromancer. So she kind of suffers from the same. I'm gonna actually throw her in here already. She's C tier. She suffers from the same issues that the Moon Elf suffers, but it's actually kind of exacerbated, where she's great in 1v1. She is not exactly the greatest in 1 versus all or everyone versus everyone or whatever, free for all. She does have that giant collateral combustion move, which is really good, but everyone knows about that move. She's a high priority target for removing a lot of her fire masteries, because no one wants that to really end the game too early or out of nowhere, but you can sneak it through sometimes. Burning Soul is good. I'm trying to think. Her defense is threatening for sure, and then being able to get stuns off is really good. She is strictly the glass cannon of this, and no one necessarily wants to attack her, but the people who do have undefendable attacks will attack her. So there's that. She really just has no way to come back is the problem. She's really good at killing people and thinning out the crowd, but she herself has no way to prevent herself from being removed from the game, pretty much is how it is. So like what usually happens is like she'll be the second person out of the pod. She'll inevitably be the first person to kill somebody, but then she's the next person to die. That's kind of how it goes. Shadow Thief. All right, he's borderline here. I can't decide on whether or not he's S or A tier, like the very tippy top of A. Being able to get shadows is absolutely broken, but it'll only work, one time. Now he does have his defense ability where he can roll for shadows and then keep dodging everything. It also, Shadows is also a high priority transfer target, and because there's, you know, at minimum two enemies or whatever, two opponents, everyone's drawing into their decks, someone's going to have it, so you're not always going to be reliably able to keep Shadows up on your board. You're kind of feeding other people. His damage is very lackluster to begin with. The games do last long enough to where he can be extremely threatening in the late game, but people know about this and usually try to kind of target him to plan for this. I actually think he probably is down in A, but probably the top of A due to how strong his economy is. If he's able to just start, you know, getting a bunch of CP and then alting and large straights and stuff like that, and then getting a Shadows off, he usually can win a game. If he is still in the game by the time, like, it's you know, not a whole lot of people in the pod with him, you know, so his whole hope is to try to stay in the game and appear non-threatening until the time is right, and that's pretty much free-for-all pods in general, but people know that you know, they know his trick. So all right, Ninja is like the Shadow Thief and Pyromancer kind of combined with the addition of a evasive token, if that makes any sense. So her defense is very punishing, so people typically don't want to attack, like, crash into your defense all that often. She does have an evasive token like Shadows, but it's not as reliable. She doesn't have any economy to speak of, so there's that. So I'm thinking she's top. She's in the top of C tier, maybe the bottom of B. She can hand out a lot of delayed poisons, which can actually shorten the games relatively quickly because a lot of people will transfer them or get rid of them and put them back on other people. Or if they can't, then they just take that damage. It really does shorten the game. While she can hoard up a bunch of ninjutsu tokens and then explode on a turn, and she can avoid defenses, she just doesn't have a heal, and she doesn't have any economy. So I don't know. I'm thinking she's actually bottom of B. We're gonna keep her at the bottom of B for right now because she feels stronger. I do think she's stronger than Pyro and Munel for sure. Okay, Treant. Oh my goodness, Treant actually. Dude, Treant's actually nuts. In this game mode, the amount of healing Treant can get from these spirits and from Wellspring is nuts. The amount of card draw he can get from Tend is nuts. The amount of damage that he can actually apply just from Barbed Vines and other, what's the other? He actually, I do think he has does he have a collateral attack? I know he has a pure damage attack and an undefendable attack. Is it collateral though? No, I don't think he has a collateral. No, never mind. He doesn't have any collateral damage, but he has good economy. He's got good healing, and he has a somewhat decent defense. He does not have like extreme mitigation tokens, but he can use his Dryad to prevent negative status effects from coming on him. So that's really good. I don't think he's S tier. He's definitely A tier though. Just how high in A tier is he though is the question. Because he's just super consistent. He's basically like a monk, but with less damage, but a trade out for economy. So he and Monk are literally like back and back. They're neck and neck. I'm not sure who's better, to be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it this way for now. Gunslinger. All right. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Gunslinger's literally Moon Elf, but worse in my opinion. So defense is decent if it works, but it doesn't always work. Her economy is lackluster. She doesn't draw any cards. She gets CP, but doesn't draw any cards. Much like Targeted, if it's applied by people onto people, Bounty kind of helps your enemies as well as hurts the one person that you applied to. So if you do hit a bounty on somebody, everyone starts attacking that person to gain CP. It's super obnoxious. So she actually can help other people, which isn't good either. What else? She can't draw cards. I already mentioned that. She has somewhat hard roll objectives, kind of like Moon Elf, but she doesn't have as reliable negative effects. Like Moon Elf has Entangled, Blind, and Evasive, while Gunslinger has, what do you call it? Reload tokens, which is better than having only Targeted. Reload plus Bounty is better, but it gets you called out at the table. And then the only other thing you have is Knockdown, which is hard to apply unless you draw into your Pistol Whip, which if you do, great, but then you're only dealing like minimal undefendable damage and only targeting one person. It's good in 1v1, but it's not very good in King of the Hill. And then her evasive tokens, she has evasives, but it doesn't always work. So yeah, she might even be D tier. I don't know. Because she has low damage numbers just on base, and even her upgrades are kind of expensive and don't give you a whole lot for them either. I don't know. I'm thinking D tier. She's either D or top of D or the very bottom of C. Yeah. Oh, Samurai. So he's literally the exact same as Gunslinger, except worse. He has 0 big swing tokens, so like no evasives to dodge a bunch of damage. He can consistently block damage, and his defense is sneakily high in value if you get it upgraded. But if you don't get it upgraded, and then you start shaming yourself, oh my gosh, that's awful. He has 0 healing, 0 economy. Yeah, he's bottom, dude. He's probably the bottom of D or the very last character. I don't know. He's one of the bottom here. We're gonna kind of put him at the bottom of D here, right here, just for the sake of putting him last for right now, and then we'll kind of readjust after we get everyone on the board. Tactician. Let me tell you guys, for this setting, he is one of my absolute favorite characters. His economy is second to only probably Paladin and Shadow Thief. It's better than almost anyone else's, including Pirate. His defense is sneakily good. He can, the amount of the velocity at which he can gain tactician or tactical advantage tokens is absurd. Just at base board, Profiteer is broken. You can constantly be getting Profiteer and then just getting protect tokens, drawing into your deck, gaining CP, and then applying Constrict on people too in this game mode is actually really sneaky good, because some people don't like getting target applied. You don't have to apply target on anybody with him. So, but it's very good to clutch it out when he's like in the last 2 people. So while he has no healing, and simply due to that alone, I cannot put him in S tier because he has no healing. Man, is he up there. He's either right above Shadow Thief or right below Shadow Thief. It's very close. It's very close. I'm going to put Shadow Thief above him. Simply because, I forgot Carpet Bomb with him now. Yeah, we got to mention that. Carpet Bomb, dude. It's actually usable in this too. So yeah, there's that too. He can get ults just as reliably as Paladin and Shadow Thief. It's insane. This character's kind of cracked. Huntress. Shockingly, if you're good with this character, she's good. She's really good. I got to put her up here in B tier. I think she's above Ninja. She's really good. She's really good. Her defense is just extremely strong. The fact that she can tank heavy hits with her cat and then just heal the cat on her turn, if you can get the dice rolls. You don't need a whole lot of economy with Huntress. You just need all you need really is your defensive upgrades. So it kind of hinges on whether or not you draw your defense upgrade early, and if there's a lot of like collateral damage on the board. So if there's a lot of like hit everybody abilities where you have to constantly be using your cat to try to tank and take full advantage of a cat, and then you can't get your cat back up because you're just missing your rolls, then she's kind of low. Like her range of outcomes is crazy. She's either like bottom of A or top of C. So due to that, I have to put her in B. It's kind of where she's at in this. Is she above Ninja is the question. Ninja's undefendable attacks, and then I don't know. I guess I'll put her below Ninja now. I've talked myself out of it. Yeah, she's probably below Ninja here. Artificer. Okay. He's insane. He's definitely B tier for sure. And if he is B tier, he's either top of B, like he's above Barbarian, because he's basically Barbarian hitting hard with some healing that Barbarian has. Not as much healing, but some healing. Enough healing to where he's probably on par with Barbarian. But he also has economy too. So I want to put him kind of like right below Treant here. Come on. Let's put him right below Treant. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Hold on. She doesn't go there. Okay, what is happening right now? There we go, okay. I'm gonna put him right below Treant. And the only reason why he's going right below Treant is because while he does have healing, he doesn't have damage mitigation on his defense. So he's like a Barbarian with economy, is kind of how I describe it. With also nanites. So his nanites can win him games that from nowhere, kind of that AoE explosion for everyone. Okay, Seraph. Shockingly, Seraph's really good. Really good. Man. I want to put her in top of B or bottom of A. She's like Barbarian and Paladin mixed together. Oh, man. That's literally what I would describe her as. She's like Barbarian and Paladin mixed together, but she has like evasive tokens, which is super nasty. And she has that Holy Light or whatever the heck it's called. I think it's called Holy Light, Holy Presence, something like that, where she damages everybody. It does 1 damage to everyone per token she has, and she can stack it up to 2, and it can't be transferred. Kind of crazy. It can be removed, though. Man, she's so good. So good. And her defense is shockingly effective too. Like, it can mitigate damage and deal a crap ton back, like 3 damage back if you get it upgraded, or you can deal 3 back and then also use a flight token and dodge it completely. I don't know, man. She's really good. The biggest issue is she has no economy. I think top of B. I think top of B. Yeah, she's top of B just because she has easier access to undefendable damage too. Like, her and Barbarian are neck and neck. It's close between those two. I don't know, I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. We skipped over Pirate. Pirate. All right. Pirate. Yeah, Pirate is bottom of C. She suffers a lot of the same problems of Pyromancer with the only addition of Pyromancer, the only advantage over Pyromancer that Pirate has is that she has economy. However, she flips. So once you flip, it's pretty much lights out for you as Pirate. You basically want to try to hold that off as long as possible, which you can do, and then try to get some wins in. Like if you're one of the last 2 to 3 players in there, and then you're able to flip at that point, and then just spam them with like those, you know, whatever they're called, like the Cursed Doubloon tokens, the Withers, the Parlays, and all that crap where they can't damage you or anything, and then you just give them a bunch of powdered kicks and stuff. You can technically close out games, but it's so hard. It's so hard. So I have to put her in there with Pyro. And last but not least, Vampire Lord. So Vampire Lord is very much like, I'm going to put her in B for right now, because she's very much like Huntress for different reasons, where Huntress relies on her defense and being able to just tank a bunch of crap and then just outlast the opponents is kind of like her specialty, which is basically what this whole game mode is just outlasting. It's not whoever kills first, it's whoever's last standing. But from a whole different angle, where Huntress has zero economy and very good defense of options, the Vampire Lord is the complete opposite. She has really strong offensive options, very good, a decent economy, surprisingly, but a terrible defense. The only thing that's good on her defensive roll is when she rolls her 6s to steal health, which can mitigate like 1 damage usually. It's like you average like 1/6 every 2 rolls. Unless you get an upgrade, then you'll average maybe like 1/6 every 1.5 rolls or something like that for your defensive value. So yeah, she can be really good, especially if you get that heal off, but everyone's kind of waiting for it, so they're typically not going to let you. And yeah, that kind of hurts you. So she's in B for sure, just because she's definitely better than all the ones under her there. Like Moon Elf, Pyromancer, Curse Pirate. Yeah, she's definitely better than all them. But the question is she better than Huntress and Ninja? I don't know. Like, between those 3, I really don't know who's better. Huntress, Ninja, and Vampire Lord. They're all like right in the middle there. In fact, I might do something like this. I might even do this just to kind of have that delineation here. These 3 belong in their own tier kind of thing. There we go. Here, let's go back down. Oh, ignore the Marvel heroes. We never really play we don't mix Marvel with Dice Throne specific heroes. Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. This is kind of, yeah, this is sort of what I'm yeah. This is I like this. The only thing I would change is probably that goes up here, and I would actually move. I would move Cursed Pirate below Gunslinger. Yep. All right, this is it right here. Okay, now we got to figure out Huntress, Vampire Lord, or Ninja here. Like, my heart is telling me to move Vampire Lord up. I kind of go like this. This is my heart telling me, but I don't know, dude. I don't know if that's accurate. She does have that giant heal. You can kind of target who you think you can get it off of, which is good. But a lot of people just don't let it happen. Oh man, I don't know. Ninja's got Smoke Bomb, dude. Smoke Bomb's so good. But Huntress can actually sneak out some wins, but she's just hard to play, honestly. All right, I think I'm gonna go with this. This is it right here. This is the official, undisputed, free-for-all, King of the Hill tier list. Let me know why I'm right. Let me know why I'm wrong. Let me know what you think my takes were good, what was bad. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll do one for the Marvel set here soon, but I want to make sure I've played most of the X-Men before I do that. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Keep grinding. See you later.